Hello, my name is Albert Walters, and I'm wanting to tell you about non-point source pollution in our atmosphere. For those of you who do not know, non-point source pollution is when you simply look at what pollutes our atmosphere as a whole instead of the individual things such as factories and cars. You look at it all together and just look at the bigger picture of how it affects our atmosphere. Most of the pollution in our atmosphere is CO2. This gas is burning a hole in our ozone layer. It's rising our ocean temperatures, melting our glaciers, raising the ocean levels. It's even killing our coral reefs. You know, I mean, the list goes on. This is not a foreign issue. This is not a homeland issue. This is an issue that affects everybody that we walk the same earth with. It doesn't matter if you're in China, Europe, Africa, or even New Orleans. The script. Good? Okay. So, I'm here at the Garden District of New Orleans. It is a very quiet part of New Orleans. It's not in the city, but we're only about 4 blocks from Bourbon Street, and it's an incredible place to be at. But something a lot of people don't know about this incredible city is that it sits anywhere between 5 feet below sea level and 20 feet above sea level. And with the size, and with glaciers the size of Manhattan breaking off Antarctica and melting, that causes a lot of issues here because any amount of ocean rise could put a lot of this state underwater. And the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, has stated by the year 2100 that we could easily see 6 feet of ocean rise if we do not start to change what we're doing now. And if you need to see that in perspective, here's what New Orleans looks like on the NOAA website now. And here's what it looks like after 1 foot of ocean rise. And as you can see, it's already a huge difference because most of the state is already underwater. But here's what it looks like after 6 feet of ocean rising. That means there's not much left, and that's an entire culture gone that we need to start to change now. Here in Lakeland, Florida, it's normally hot and humid. Good news is that we have air conditioning. The bad news is that due to the non-point source pollution in our atmosphere, it's only going to get hotter. As you can see in my first map here, Florida looks pretty decent, you know, just as it always does. And here is what Florida looks like after 6 feet of ocean rising. You know, it looks a little worse, but it proves that even after 6 feet of ocean rising, the whole place will be underwater is a complete myth. Even though major places like Tampa and Miami are affected, most of the state will still be operating normally, just with a closer shoreline, which is still not okay. We need to change our unhealthy habits as a country and start protecting our environment and stop hurting it. We have one Earth and we need to take care of it. We need to stop driving all the time. If someone can walk 3 blocks, they should be able to without driving their vehicle. We need greener cars. We also need more solar and wind farms. We need to stop using so much plastic and recycle the plastic we have. We all know what we need to do, and there's so many ways that we can change what we are doing to save the only Earth we live on. Here at the Myrtle Beach State Park, we can see the huge waves, breathe in the salty air, and look at the beautiful sunrise. But one thing that this beach is suffering from, along with all the beaches around the world, is that the shoreline's decreasing. Along with that, the coral reefs in our ocean are also dying. According to climate.org, 90% of all the warming around the world in the last 50 years has been absorbed by our oceans. The rise in temperature is melting our glaciers and killing our coral reef. NASA stated that 27% of all the coral reef in the world has already died. And within 31 years, that number could rise up to 32%. This is a huge issue for the corals, along with all the wildlife that live within the corals. We're killing our Earth, and we need to start to take desperate measures to change what we are doing. Just like I said in Florida, we all know what we need to do. We've heard it 100 times. We just need to start to do it and take our part into saving the only Earth that we have. As you can see, we've learned a lot about how non-point source pollution has affected some of our low-lying lands around our great country. Some of the solutions to the issue is producing greener cars, promoting carpooling and walking, making factories that are a little greener, are just a few of the solutions that some of the countries around our world have started doing. Non-point source pollution is causing a demise to our planet, as we know. Mars is not even a backup, and this is a beautiful world. We just need to start taking care of it so we can stay here longer.